Hello, so I'm going to make a study guide for the scrolls, and this is going to be designed for the scrolls on May 18th of 2025, the year of our Lord 2025. So, if you're reading this in the future, the version of the scrolls that you have might be damaged or not entirely there. So we're going to go through this study guide, and we're going to go through the whole scrolls, and this is more like study notes to explain to you how to study this stuff and what it means. So I'm greeted with the entrance page here. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to say yes because I am over 18. And I'm going to choose to use the testing version of the fast scrolls. Uh, so the first page about the lore of the fast scrolls, I'm not going to go over that too much. There's not anything super duper important in here. The first thing to take away from the about page in the fast scrolls is that the fast scrolls really does make you into a kind of a spiritual super soldier, and a lot of people don't understand this, but it's super duper true. But the main thing to take away from this page is it says everything in the scrolls is optional. There is a part of the fast scroll. If there's a part of the fast scrolls that you don't like, ignore it. Only focus on the parts that fit in with your worldview and benefit you. So take away from this about page is that it does enable you to like maximize yourself, but you really don't have to do anything in here. You can pick and choose what you prefer to do, right? It doesn't ascribe any. It doesn't tell you what to. The scrolls doesn't tell you what to do. It just asks of what you do. So we'll go ahead here until I reach the 10-minute mark. Here's the survival section. So the first part, it says emergency go bag. In the survival section, this is probably the first section that you should go through and just to watch everything, to watch all the videos in here a couple times. Some of them are longer, so you wouldn't be expected to watch them as many times. But you kind of, as a fast memer, you're kind of expected to, as a fast monk, you're kind of expected to know the information here. So the first one is really easy to learn, and it just talks about why you should prepare to live out of a backpack. One reason is to be prepared for disaster and to be prepared to go on an adventure like a superhero. And then also it's because it helps the environment. If you know how to live with less, then you're going to be better at helping the environment in the end, right? Even if you don't choose to live with less all the time. And it gives you some advice about how to do it, and this is very critical. So it says, don't get rid of all your stuff and go live on the street. Don't do that. I do not do that. What you're intended to do is to practice living with less stuff in your own house. Anything in your house that would be in a hotel, that's fair game to use. It's careful reading of the scrolls here. Anything that's in your that would be in a hotel, like a shower, that's fair game to use. But for everything else, just live out of a backpack in your own house until you feel comfortable living out of a backpack, and you'll kind of get the idea, right? Um, so that's that section. Then we have the gear recommendations. So I'm really just going to go through here. For these gear recommendations, you're kind of expected to get this gear because a lot of this gear is this loading. A lot of this gear is very cheap. Now, I can't guarantee that you're going to survive if you have it's just because you have this gear. I can guarantee to you that this gear is going to be good. But this is what I use, and it's pretty good gear. So you're expected to get this gear. You're expected to start at the top and work your way down and collect all this gear or some kind of replacement for it. If there's something that's on this list and you want something better, you got to justify why that's better and pick that instead. But pretty much nothing on this list should be reduced. So the first thing is a pair of shorts, and the obvious reason for that is that it passes as underwear and shorts, so you can wear a pair of pants at the same time as you wear these shorts, and the swim shorts basically lets you have a little bit less packing space in your backpack, right? Then you need a tablet. It's got to be a pocketable tablet, so it's not an iPad because an iPad is super big. It's not an iPhone because an iPhone is super small. We're talking about something more the size of an iPad mini. You need to have essentially an iPad mini sized tablet computer. There's some recommendations in the item shop of like what to get. But essentially you need that basic iPad mini style thing going on. Because it's going to maximize your computing in the very beginning. So in the very beginning we have modesty, we have our shorts. Then we jump straight to a super interesting gadget that's going to really help us, right? The next thing is you're going to want some of the reusable versions of the shopping bags. And it'll explain that on the scrolls. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but there's many uses for these reusable shopping bags, including carrying things and all kinds of stuff. You're also going to want to pick up some sanitary napkins, either some little napkins from some store that you can nab, which I'm sorry to say, but that's how it is if you're homeless. Or if you're not homeless, you can get some baby wipes, and that's good for sanitation. It's good for cleaning your hands and stuff like that. The next thing is a wool blanket. If you're allergic to wool, get a hyperallergenic version of it. But getting a wool blanket or getting a linen blanket is going to be super good because that's like a much more modest piece of clothing than just a pair of shorts. Because if you read through the scrolls, you can wear a blanket as a toga, so it can be your clothing item, right? Super useful, super compact when you wear it as clothing. The next thing you want to get is a starter backpack. So this is where people get stuck on this part. Is like, oh, I need to buy a $400 backpack. If you don't have any backpack at all, it would be better to buy a $20 backpack or a $15 backpack than to have nothing and just to wait and sit on the idea of having a backpack for months and months and months. Get yourself a starter backpack. It's okay. You don't have to have a perfect $400 backpack to get started on this. All this stuff is made to be cheap. You got the Crocs. So this is just if you don't want to wear sandals. I prefer the rubber medical clogs. But again, we're still on the gear recommendation list. The medical clogs are super good, and I like them. They may hurt your feet. If they hurt your feet, don't wear them. I wear them because I think they're as good as sandals. I think they're better. The next thing you got is like this is a t-shirt, and it's also a hoodie, right? And if you wear two of these at the same time, it's better for winter. If you're wearing just one of them, you can roll up your sleeves, and that will make it into a regular summer t-shirt. So it's ultra lightweight, quick drying. These t-shirts, you want to get at least two of them, if not three. These long sleeve t-shirts with the hood are super good. They're like probably $8 year of World War 2025. They're cheap. The next thing you want is a foam sleeping pad. The foam sleeping pads are not that comfy, but they get you up off the rocks on the ground, and it's better than nothing. And it's very warm compared to nothing. So you definitely want the foam sleeping pad, right? The next thing is a pair of sweats. It's just a very warm, cheap, durable pair of clothing that's pretty ubiquitous all across the world. These sweats are pretty good, cheap, they work. They may be made out of plastic, but oh well, they work. And I'm running out of time on this video. I'll do one more item. So the next item is going to be another one of these long sleeve shirts with the hoods, because you can pair them together, you can layer them together.